When I was a very little boy, a long time ago now, as you can tell by the greyness of my beard, but when I was a little boy we had a teacher and his real name was Mr Barlow, but we never called him Mr Barlow, we actually called him Mr Wrigley because he could never stand still. The top half of his body was still, but his legs were like moving all the time, so I thought, do you know what, I'm going to write a poem all about him. And then I thought, I'm not sure about the word Barlow or the word Wrigley, I'll give him a different or a better name for the character in the poem. And at that point we had a dog. He was a Springer Spaniel, always jumping up and down. I thought, Mr Springer, that sounds good. And then I thought, what noise does a spring make? And of course it makes a boing. So the chorus becomes boing, 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 boing. Now if you write this down and read it quietly in your head, it makes no sense at all. But the great thing about performance poetry, in fact, the great thing about any poetry, is it sounds better when you read it out loud. So I'm going to say it out loud. What I'd like you to do is, where you are, repeat it after me. Boing, 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 boing. Again, not many people did it, so we will try it again. Boing, 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 boing. Not bad. To make it even better, you can't sit still. You've got to go boing, 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 boing. He bounces when he walks and he bounces when he talks. He bounces down the corridor, up and down on the floor, up and down on the floor. Boing, 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 boing. Up and down he bounces round and points his bouncy finger. You best watch out when he's about bouncing Mr Springer with the boing, 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 boing. Boing, 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 boing. He bounces in assembly, his rubber knees are trembly. You can tell where he has been, he's a human trampoline, a jumping bean and a trampoline with a boing, 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 boing. Now it's your chance to join in with some rhyming words. He bounces here, bounces there, and he bounces. You've got it. He bounces here, bounces there, and he bounces. He bounces on the table and he bounces on the bounces on the table and he bounces on the. He bounces in his clothes and in his under. No, he doesn't actually. That was just a little joke. And don't think about your teachers in their underwear because that's rude and naughty and you should never do that. Boing, 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 boing. Last time, boing, 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 boing. Fantastic. Wherever you are, give yourselves a round of applause. Now, I told you how I wrote that poem and how I got the idea for Mr Springer from my old teacher, Mr Barlow. The next poem I'm going to do for you, I'm going to tell you how I wrote that one as well, and then how that led on to something else. The very first house I had, a very tiny little terrace house, had a very tiny bathroom. I was in there one day cleaning my teeth, and out the corner of my eye, I saw the toilet seat, and it balanced over by itself, because sometimes toilet seats do that. And out the corner of my eye, it looked like a mouth closing. And I thought, oh, if it's got a mouth, it could have teeth. If it's got teeth, it could bite you. If it's a toilet with teeth, it will bite you in a very funny place. Hence the poem. The bathroom has gone crazy, far beyond belief. The sink is full of spiders and the toilet seat has teeth. Ooh. The plug in the bath has a whirlpool underneath. It pulls you down feet first and the toilet seat has teeth. Ooh. Crunch, slurp, munch, burp. The toilet seat has teeth. Don't sit on it. Because the toilet seat has, you've got it, teeth. Now, true story about that poem. About 5 years ago, I was in a school and the teacher said to me that very scary phrase, Paul, will you go and see the children in nursery? Now, I'm not being rude about nursery, but it's a very strange place. It's like all the aliens have landed and all they seem to do is eat the sand and then be sick all day. Anyway, I did the poem about the toilet seat with teeth and then I drew a picture of the toilet seat with teeth, and this is the picture that I drew. So there's the toilet seat with teeth, saying snap. I did that. A little boy who was about 3.5 years old, he looked up and went, it looks like there's a crocodile in the house. And then his teacher said, wow, he never says anything. So I said, why don't we turn his words into a poem? And that's exactly what we did. And every school I've been into since then, we've performed this poem. Now, again, normally what I'd do in a live situation is I'd say every line and you can repeat it. This time, I'm just going to say it and you can guess the rhymes that come along. So we go, big sharp teeth, open mouth, there's a crocodile in the house. I did not smile, I did not laugh, there's a crocodile in the bath. I did not know what to think, there's a crocodile in the sink. I did not know what to do, there's a crocodile in the loo. Face turned white, eyes turned red, there's a crocodile in my bed. And then I did a crazy dance, there's a crocodile in my pants. I fed it a Mars bar, I fed it a Snickers. Some of you may be ahead of me by now because it is a rhyming poem, and yes, it is that intellectual. I fed it a Mars bar, I fed it a Snickers, there's a crocodile in Mum's. Correct. Usually at that point, the front 5 rows in the audience in a primary school will all go, ah, he said a rude word, because that's what infants do. Big sharp teeth, open mouth, there's a crocodile in the house. And what started off as a poem about the toilet seat with teeth, a drawing, a poem we did in a nursery class, has now become the title and the cover of this book. There's a crocodile in the house. This book came out in February of this year. Poems by myself and drawings by the fantastic Liz Million. Liz is a fantastic illustrator and she did some brilliant drawings for this book.